Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about a couple of subjects. One, did the fan base, perhaps millimeters specifically, somehow harm Blaque? Also, Trisha appears allegedly, in my opinion, to be lying to Stormy and Destiny, but then she confesses truth to Ken. So we're going to talk about all of it. Now, before we do, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. You knew that I was going to ask, right? With you hitting the like button or even the dislike button, YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy discussing the various topics surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you as one of the showstoppers. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. So we're going to get into this first one. It is Stormy, Trisha, and Destiny meeting up at the gym. They're going to be discussing Trisha's interactions with Martell. So I'm going to go ahead and play this soundbite and then come back with my commentary.
Sneaky links before something? No. But he told me when he came to the warehouse that you've been at his house. Me? Yeah. When? I don't know. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said it. I didn't make it to his house. You was at his house per him. No, I did not make it to his house. You didn't make it? Were you on your way? Well, he did invite me. No, I did not make it to his house. This was when? This was about 4 years ago. Well, he's still married 4 years ago? No. So he tried to date you? Well, I wouldn't say he tried. I just think he was going through something. Because I told him I went through a separation. Where y'all was at? Talking on Instagram. So this the fun you was having in between. He was a part of the fun. We never did each other. That ain't what he said. We got that part. I'm saying we got that part. He said it was you were in the building. No. Why is he talking about something that never happened? I don't know. We did have some, conversations, but we never did anything. No, we never went that far. He didn't say y'all was like, did it? We never had no intimate situation. But he told me that you was at his house. So there's a difference there. I got that the first time you said it. Were y'all sneaky links before something?
Okay, so Trisha was asked, Destiny, in this clip that Carlos King has posted to his Instagram, it starts off with Destiny saying, were y'all sneaky links or something? She said no. And then Stormy goes, well, he said that you were at his house. And so now she's caught up and she's like, well, I didn't make it to his house. Come on now, Trisha, either you were there or you weren't. And then you're trying to negate what he said. He said that you were at his house and you're saying that you never made it there. And Destiny's like, well, what, were you on your way? I mean, what does that mean? Were you on your way, Trisha, and then you got a flat tire? Were you on your way and one of your kids text you that they were hungry? What do you mean by you didn't make it over there? And then she goes on to clarify, we've never had an intimate moment. Okay, girl, you have already, in about a minute and a half, you've already proven yourself to be inconsistent. It is giving, allegedly Martell may have smashed, okay? And because you knew that he is not the marrying type, you knew that he would struggle with commitment, you knew that he already had a resident side chick going on, you have totally programmed your mind into thinking that you're just gonna say that it never happened altogether because you did not want to be added to his roster, Trisha. You did not want to be a statistic. But darling, the cat's out of the bag. Martell told Stormy, not only does Martell want to smash every girl like the Lil Wayne song, he wants to embarrass you and let people know that he smashed you without saying it explicitly. she was at my house. And why would a woman go over to Martell's house unless they want some community peen, unless they want a donation from the community peen, okay? No, thank you, Trisha. That was all you had to say was no, thank you. You weren't turned off by the fact that he cheated on his wife. You weren't turned off by the fact that he has a baby with the side chick. You weren't turned off by how he talks about the mother of his kids. That didn't dry you up. That definitely should have taken away any moisture that was present. She also told Stormy and Destiny that when she had some sort of interaction with Martell, that it was 4 years ago in 2020. We know that 2020 is the year that Melody left Martell and the divorce proceedings started. She filed for divorce in 2020. That's why Destiny asked Trisha, wasn't he still married? And Trisha said no. In my opinion, Trisha, because he totally was still, in my opinion. I believe they weren't formally divorced until sometime in 2021. Oh my gosh, you should have just said, you know what? I think that he was, but I was told that they were separated, but it was a mistake. I was lonely, I don't know what it is. And then with timeline, see, here's the thing, when people cheat and they're still married and start dating and they don't, tie up loose ends or whatever, the timelines get so blurred and so confusing when it's all these extra Negroes in your panties and in your bedroom. So the next question is, when did she and Ken start dating? I would imagine they started dating around that same time too. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of how committed Ken is. The taking the daughter to dance, buying Trisha's son a car. Like, this had to have been a relationship that's been established for some years now for Ken to be willing to do all of that for her children. So did she cheat on Ken with Martell, who was cheating on his wife? Are Trisha and Martell one and the same? I know that a lot of you say Destiny and Martell, they share the same traits, but do Trisha and Martell, are they alike as well? It's giving yes. And Trisha, honey, these girls are not your friend. Obviously, producers told Stormy and Destiny how this scene was going to go. They totally grilled you. Carlos King even says it in the caption of this clip that he posted, that Stormy grilled Trisha like a panini. That's totally off facts. And I feel like, Trisha, you and Ken were recruited to look like fools. I'm sure the ultimate goal is to embarrass Melody, but Melody is so far apart and separated from Martell. She does not care. She's literally booked and busy. But in the end, I feel like you look like a fool. And in turn, catching a stray, Ken looks like a fool. But I think the ultimate goal was to try and embarrass Melody, and it did not work. So let's move on. So now we have this scene with Trisha and Ken. And let's just hear what she tells Ken.
There was some stuff that was brought up. Martell acting like he didn't know me was brought up. And she asked Martell about why he acted that way. He said, well, because she been at my house. So I just laughed and I said, no, I didn't. I was like, why would he say that? What gave him that energy? What possessed him to say that? But I think I was waiting for that to come out because I did in fact go to his house.
So you've been to his house?
I couldn't remember for sure, but yes.
How could you not remember? What makes you not remember you been to somebody else?
I was just like, did I go to his house or did we go to his gym? because that was the purpose. And it's just like, I was like, no, we never made it to the gym.
That's messed up. Ken, you have been so generous and patient with Trisha, generous with your heart, your feelings, and your money, providing for her kids, patiently waiting for her to divorce Marquez. And then you're finding out in front of cameras that she went over to Martell's house. And you know what time it is, Ken. I'm sure you're familiar with the show that you're on, Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I imagine that when you are in the same room with Martell, when you're in his presence, I'm sure he gives off a very sexual energy. And as a man to man, you can probably tell what time it is with him. So to hear that your girlfriend Trisha was over to his house, I feel really bad for Ken. And so I can only wonder if today, at this very moment, are they still together? Is he still devoted to Trisha? You know, does he want to remain in that relationship? Because it just seems like he's just getting disrespected. Then he may tell himself, well, she is saying that this was 4 years ago. You know, she hasn't been over to his house since. I'm going to believe her. Everyone makes mistakes, yada, yada. But oh my gosh, Trisha is such a player. I feel like I'm watching like a knockoff sequel to Boomerang. You know how sometimes like they'll do a sequel to a movie and the stars of the original, they are not on board. So then they cast other stars. I feel like I'm watching a low budget knockoff sequel to Boomerang where Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, and Halle Berry said that they were not on board. So they cast Trisha, Martell, and Ken. And Trisha is in Eddie Murphy's role. And Ken is like Halle Berry. Oh my gosh. So I feel really, really bad. Like, Ken, wake up. Wake up and smell the KY. Okay? Something's going on. The love we used to share was strong. I'm falling out of love with you. And I don't know what to do. Oh, oh, something's going on. Oh, yeah. That's like from the early 90s. Okay? I should totally play that once I'm done with this video. All right. So we have more. Now we have the Scotts, Marceau and Tisha. They are discussing some sort of interference, disruption in regards to something that they were putting on at Blaque. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Planning for homecoming, everything was so costly and so tiresome as it is. Who would have thought that during the midst of that, you have people calling the government officials saying, hey, stop Blaque from doing that? Moments like these really frustrate me.
I know. I'm sad for you because I know how hard you work on this stuff. I know the many nights you're up here trying to get together, trying to figure it out. Nobody gave you a blueprint to this, and you're just trying to do right. And it's sad because we brought excitement back into the city. When we was in college, we didn't have a lot to do here. We don't have that type of stuff, that vibe like in Atlanta. This is what Blaque brought to Huntsville.
I mean, Blaque has become a staple in the community. I was up here just inside. How many cars ride by here? I had to go tell somebody, hey, when I open today, a guy came and said, dang, man, I came from Jackson, Mississippi. Let me ask you a question. I'm being honest, all right? And I'm not just bragging. Where else in the city of Huntsville do people come from out of town to go? Besides the Space and Rocket Center.
That's true.
When you're out of town and people ask about Huntsville, what do they ask about? They ask about Blaque. You know what I hate? Planning for homecoming, everything was so costly and so tiresome as it is. Who would have thought that during the midst of that, you have people calling the government officials saying, hey, stop Blaque from doing that? Moments like these really frustrate me.
I know. I'm sad for you because I know how hard you work on this stuff. I know.
Okay. So I played the beginning of it. I recorded the beginning of that clip again so we could hear it twice. Marceau was saying that whenever you do events at homecoming time, it's already so costly. And then to find out that people called local government officials and said, stop Blaque from doing that, he seemed disheartened. My question is, what is the that? Is it the casino night fundraiser that they were planning? I remember Tisha saying this in an earlier episode. I feel like it might have been from season 6, part 2, like the second half of season 6, or the very, very, very beginning of this current season 7, where she talked about people. It really feels like it was season 6 because they were standing in her realty office that was under construction. And she talked about people calling local officials to stop what I believe was casino night. Or is there an additional event that they tried to hold and people made calls? Now, here's what I have to say about that. Now, if T's have been crossed and I's were dotted, I don't see where anyone could have made phone calls and stopped anything. Like if you had gotten all of the needed permits and needed documentation and permissions, then you could hold whatever event that you would want to have. I would imagine the only way someone's calls could have been effective was if they called the city and then local officials realized that you all had not gained the needed permits to have whatever event that you were planning. So like how does the saying go? Like the pastor used to say, I keep myself above reproach so I don't have to be approached. Some people say, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So that is what comes to mind. Like nobody would have been able to sabotage any event that you had if you had taken all the necessary precautions in order to throw the event. That is what comes to my mind. Now, I know we can't control what people do, their behavior, their choices, their words, but again, they wouldn't be able to stop you if everything was in line. I remember season 9 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta at the reunion when Kandi accused Phaedra of trying to sabotage the OLG restaurant, Old Lady Gang, because that season they were still working on it opening. I think that by the end of that season, they planned a soft opening because that was where Apollo, his then girlfriend, now wife, she attended the soft opening on his behalf because he was in prison. And at the reunion, Kandi accused Phaedra allegedly of calling local officials that she knew with the city of Atlanta to try and stop, things like, liquor licenses or just them opening up. And, Phaedra denied it. But this is nothing new or unique to what the Scotts may have faced. But again, Phaedra didn't stop anything with Kandi because the restaurant still opened up and it's a hit. I remember Peter Thomas said, the majority of their customers are out of towners. They're tourists. They get that much business from when people travel to Atlanta. They want to visit OLG. But Kandi did everything appropriately, and there was nothing that nobody could do had they made a phone call to local officials. So this is another episode where there's at least one scene dedicated to try and make the fan base look bad. And we know the particular sector of the fan base, the millimeters. It goes without saying. If you are analytical and you can read between lines, you can pick up on subliminals, then you know what time it is, right? But these are clips for tonight's upcoming episode. So tomorrow I will definitely check out the episode and give you all a recap. And I'll be sure to have visuals as well. So now I am going to go ahead and go walking at the park. One thing that I did want to show you all, because I did decide I washed my locks last night and then I put flexi rods in them. And then I sat underneath the dryer for over an hour and then I was sleepy. I had to go to bed. I went to bed like after 1 a.m. So my locks have some curls, like as you can see, like in the front, there's like a wave, right? So I think it looks cool. And when I took the flexi rods out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a lock that needs reattachment. So it's weird, everything's on the opposite end. But I found a lock that is like, it's not this far in the front. It's kind of like, which one is it? It's one of these that needs my loctician Brittany. She's gonna have to take a crochet needle and reattach it. I don't see it. I'll probably post a picture of it on my community tab. I shared it with Brittany on Instagram. I know she's busy doing hair today. I was like, you can just reattach it, right? Like I watch videos on reattachment locks, reattaching locks all the time. And, some locticians, that's how they sell themselves on their ability to do lock repair. But it's one of these. Now I can't find it. I should have like put a barrette on it so I could show it to you all. But if you saw it, you will be like, oh yeah. If I lived near my Aunt Corrine, but we don't, we live hours away. But I would totally ask her to reattach it for me because she crochets like every day. She's in like a club. Darn, I can't find it. I have to be like standing in the mirror and I could show it to you all. But like for the most part, my locks are still straight. There's just like a wave, but it did kind of take, I would probably have to wear the flexi rods in like all day, or maybe next time I'll do like a braid out. But then I would only do that like if I washed my hair on a Sunday night, braided it, and then just let the braids stay in maybe like all week. And then once I'm off of work for the weekend, maybe take them out, then it'll be like a cool wave. And then this morning I sprayed my hydration, which you all know is just water, rose water. I put a little avocado oil and a little bit of vegetable glycerin. I mix that up once a week. And then every day I hydrate my locks. And then today, because I knew I just washed my locks last night, I put some Jamaican black castor oil on my scalp. So my hair is definitely nice and oiled. The sun is kind of peeping in and out. So I'm going to go to the park and walk and get some vitamin D. But yeah, I hardly ever do things to my locks. I just let them be because I love the ease. But I decided to throw some flexi rods in them. I have 139 locks. So I was putting like 3, sometimes 4 locks on a rod and rolling it up. So I'm like, I'm not doing just 1 lock or 2 locks. I'll be all night putting these things in my head. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you all. But I hope that you're having a great Saturday. Be sure to have balance between enjoying your favorite YouTube videos, such as this one, and going out for a walk or getting some housework done. And I will talk with you all very soon. Bye.